500 acres when I heard their cars pulling up the gravel driveway. Right on schedule, my family's annual harvest visit, where they'd spend hours mocking my life choices while pretending to care about the family farm. I stood on my front porch, sipping coffee from my weathered mug, watching their luxury vehicles kick up dust. Dad's new Mercedes, Mom's Range Rover, and my brother David's shiny Porsche, all lined up like shining reminders of what they thought success looked like. "Still playing in the dirt?" David called out, emerging from his car in pristine loafers that had never seen a day of real work. "You know my firm's always hiring. Even with your limited qualifications." Mom brushed invisible dust from her designer pants. "Honey, we're just worried. This farm hasn't turned a profit in decades. Your grandfather would understand if you sold it." I checked my watch. 10 minutes until sunrise. "The soil tests came back again," Dad added, waving a paper from his briefcase. "Nothing but basic minerals. Not even worth farming anymore. The developer's offer is more than fair." I poured another cup of coffee, hiding my smile. They never bothered to ask why I'd spent 3 years studying geology after inheriting the farm. Never questioned why I'd installed state-of-the-art scanning equipment instead of new tractors. Never wondered why I'd been turning down 8-figure offers from developers. The first rays of sunlight pierced the horizon. Right on time, a low rumble filled the morning air. "What's that?" David squinted into the distance. Around the bend came the convoy, 12 Tesla-branded transport trucks, their electric motors humming quietly. Behind them, more vehicles bearing logos from Apple, Samsung, and other tech giants. The lead truck stopped and a woman in a crisp business suit stepped out. "Ma'am, your rare earth metals are ready for transport. Mr. Musk sends his regards and wants to confirm your dinner meeting in Austin next week." Dad's coffee cup crashed to the floor of the porch. "Rare earth metals? The largest deposit discovered in North America," I confirmed, watching their faces. "Those basic minerals in your soil test? They're worth more than your entire law firm's annual revenue. Per acre." Mom grabbed the porch railing for support. But the developers wanted to build condos on top of billions in tech-grade minerals. I nodded to the Tesla representative. "Start loading. The first shipment goes to the quantum computer facility." David's perfectly manicured hand trembled as he pulled out his phone, probably Googling rare earth mineral prices. "This can't. How much?" "More than your entire hedge fund manages," I replied. "That's why Elon's been calling. These minerals, they're essential for electric vehicles, smartphones, satellites, everything the modern world runs on." The convoy began their careful choreography, specialized equipment humming as they prepared to extract and transport minerals worth more than my family's combined net worth. "Your grandfather knew," I added, watching their shocked faces. "He studied geology too. Made me promise to wait to let technology catch up until the minerals became essential. While you all chased quick money, he taught me to play the long game." Another fleet of trucks appeared on the horizon. More tech companies, more contracts, more billions. "That's why I studied rocks instead of law," I told Dad. "Why I learned about minerals instead of mergers. The future isn't in corner offices, brother. It's right here in this worthless dirt." The morning sun fully illuminated the massive operation now unfolding across my worthless farmland. State-of-the-art extraction equipment, worth more than Dad's entire law firm, moved with precision across carefully mapped grids. Each machine represented cutting-edge technology, designed specifically for my operation. "Your quarterly projection, ma'am," my operations director, Dr. Chin, approached with a secure tablet. "Tesla's increased their order by 300%. Apple's offering an additional $2 billion for exclusive rights to the new deposit we found in the North Field." Dad's legal instincts finally kicked in. $2 billion? "Sarah, you need proper representation. My firm can." "Already handled," I cut him off, signing the digital contracts. "By the same team that negotiates Elon's Mars contracts. They work for me now." David's expensive shoes were getting muddy as he paced, frantically typing on his phone. "These mineral rights, the family trust, there must be some clause." "I had grandfather's original deed analyzed by 3 separate firms," I replied, enjoying his growing panic. "The land transfer was ironclad. While you were mocking my dirt farming, I was filing international patents on extraction methods. Mom's perfectly maintained composure cracked as another fleet of trucks arrived. These bearing Department of Defense markings. A military attaché approached, offering a crisp salute. Ms. Harrison, the Pentagon's representatives are ready for your briefing. The rare earth processing facility plans need your final approval. Processing facility? Dad's voice cracked. A $10 billion complex, I confirmed. The government's rather interested in having a domestic source of minerals crucial for weapons systems. Funny how, playing in the dirt, becomes national security. Dr. Chen's tablet chimed. Ma'am, the Chinese delegation has landed. They're concerned about market impact. I bet they are, I smiled. Their monopoly on rare earth elements ends today. Send them to the conference room. Let them see what real competition looks like. Through my ranch house windows, now converted into a high-tech command center, screens displayed real-time mineral prices soaring. Each blip represented another $1 million. Another tech company desperately trying to secure their supply chain. That new iPhone? I told David, who was still staring at his device. Needs my minerals. Those satellites your hedge fund relies on? Can't function without what's under this dirt. Electric cars, quantum computers, military hardware. Everything runs through this worthless farm now. But you never said. Mom whispered. You never asked. Too busy bragging about David's promotions, Dad's law partner status. Meanwhile, I was building an empire that makes their achievements look like pocket change. The military attaché cleared his throat. Ma'am, the Secretary of Defense is on the secure line. And SpaceX's lunar mining division needs to discuss their proposal. A sleek helicopter appeared on the horizon, the Department of Energy logo gleaming on its side. Below, the extraction operation continued with military precision, each machine worth more than David's Porsche collection. Your brother's hedge fund tried to buy shares this morning, Dr. Chen mentioned, checking her tablet. Along with every major investment bank in Manhattan. Not for sale, I replied loud enough for David to hear. Though I did enjoy watching them drive up the price. How much did our market cap increase in the last hour? 87 billion. We're now worth more than GM, Ford, and Tesla combined. Dad pulled out his reading glasses, desperately scanning the soil reports he'd brought, the ones that had missed the trillion-dollar deposits beneath his feet. These minerals, the concentrations can't be. Those tests were designed to find agricultural elements, I explained. Not the rare earth metals that power the modern world. Grandfather knew that. He spent years mapping these deposits, waiting for the right moment. The helicopter landed and a woman in a sharp suit emerged. Ms. Harrison, the president sends his regards. The National Strategic Reserve contracts are ready for your signature. Mom's designer purse slipped from her trembling fingers. The president. Turns out national security depends on more than just lawyers and hedge funds, I noted, watching David's face contort. Those missiles you brag about investing in? Useless without my minerals. Through the command center's windows I could see the Chinese delegation arriving, their faces tight with barely controlled panic. Behind them, executives from Samsung, Intel, and Apple waited their turn, each carrying proposals worth billions. Remember last Christmas? Asked my family. When you all laughed about my failed career, while comparing vacation homes. I had just finalized the patents that are now worth more than every property in the Hamptons. Dr. Chen's tablet chimed again. Stock markets opening. Our IPO would be the largest in history. If we were selling, I added, watching David practically vibrate with frustrated greed. Which we're not. Some things are worth more than quick profits. Isn't that right, brother? The military attaché approached again. Ma'am, the quantum computing facility plans need your approval. And NASA's calling about the Mars mission requirements. Dad's legal papers slipped from his fingers, scattering across my polished command center floor. Each page represented their outdated understanding of wealth and power, now literally beneath my feet. That development offer you brought? I reminded him. The one you called too good to refuse? The minerals under their proposed parking lot are worth more than their entire company. Another fleet of trucks appeared, these bearing European Union markings. Behind them, representatives from Japan, South Korea, and India waited their turn, each hoping for a piece of what my family had dismissed as worthless dirt. Should I have your usual suite prepared in Washington? Dr. Chen asked. The Joint Chiefs want to discuss the new defense applications. And Silicon Valley's leaders are requesting another strategic summit. After the Chinese delegation, I nodded. Let them see what real negotiation looks like. Mom finally found her voice. All those years, while we were pushing you to get a real job, I was building something bigger than you could imagine, I finished. Funny how playing in the dirt works out sometimes. The morning sun now fully illuminated my empire, both the visible operation above ground and the invisible wealth beneath. Each acre worth more than my family's combined lifetime earnings, each mineral deposit more valuable than the corporations they'd spent their lives serving. My family followed me into the command center's main conference room, their designer clothes now dusty from the morning's revelations. Through floor-to-ceiling windows, they watched as their understanding of power and wealth was completely rewritten. Latest market impact projections, ma'am, Dr. Chen announced, activating the room's holographic display. Global supply chains appeared in glowing detail. Every major tech company, every military contractor, every emerging technology now dependent on my worthless farm. The Chinese delegation is ready, my security chief informed me. Their analysts just confirmed our production capacity. And? I asked, though I already knew the answer. They're unsettled. Your single deposit contains more rare earth elements than their entire national reserve. Dad, still clutching his now meaningless legal papers, sank into a conference chair. Single deposit? There's more. The North Field alone could supply the world's technology needs for 50 years, I confirmed, watching their faces. The East section? That's where the really valuable materials are. The hologram shifted, showing global mineral prices spiking in real time. Each upward tick represented billions in market value, decades of technological advancement, a complete reshaping of global power dynamics. Ma'am, my assistant interrupted, Mark Zuckerberg is holding on line 1. Apple CEO on line 2. The EU Trade Commissioner on line 3. Tell them they'll have to wait, I replied. The Joint Chiefs get priority on the quantum-grade materials. David's hands shook as he pulled up his banking app. Our family trust, all our investments, they're worth nothing compared to a single hour of my production? I finished. Correct. That merger you were so proud of last month? I spend more on coffee for my staff. The Chinese delegation entered, high-ranking officials trying to hide their desperation behind diplomatic smiles. Behind them I could see representatives from every major tech company waiting their turn, each carrying proposals that would have once seemed impossible. Your brother's hedge fund tried to short our supply chain, Dr. Chen whispered. Should we show him what real market manipulation looks like?